covenant, right? Covenant is the series for the whole month, right? And I've listed down every week what did we cover. The first week, what did we cover? We covered the different covenants that were given. And finally, one nice, really new covenant was given through Jesus, right? That's what we covered in the first week. Second week, we covered Hannah's life and how the fulfillment of the covenant happened, right? And God is faithful. Week 3, we saw God fulfilled both sides, right? That's an interesting, very, very interesting insight. That was a very useful insight for me. Hallelujah to God. Right? This week, let's see what happens. What are we seeing? This week, it is all about surety in the blood covenant. Surety in the blood covenant. That is what we are going to see today. So if we see, there are 3 aspects within these words, right? Surety in the blood covenant. So let's look at those 3 words. I've marked them as 1, surety; 2, there is blood; 3, covenant. So 3 different words in one sentence, but it's a powerful outcome. Let's understand what these 3 different words mean and then go into how that applies to us. That's the format for today. So let's start with what is covenant. Covenant, we already saw that in the first week, right? So I'll go ahead and talk about it. A sacred agreement, a relationship between 2 parties, often God and humans, where binding promises and were made and a shared goal is pursued. Covenants are not merely contracts, but relational and personal commitments. Let's dwell on this for a little bit. It is an agreement, but it is not like a heartless agreement. You see certain words mentioned there. It has some relationship involved in it. It has some personal commitments involved in it. It's not like a contract. Here is a pop quiz for you. Next slide. Pop quiz. Is marriage, is it a covenant? Is marriage a covenant? How many of you say it is a covenant? Okay, everybody seems to be raising hands, except the folks who are sleeping. I know you're tired with the retreat, right? I'll make sure I'll keep it lively. Cool. How many of you feel it is a contract? None of you? No honest souls here? Then why do we have divorces? Then why do we have troubles? Then why people separate? Why people go away? Why? If it is a covenant, you have personal relationship involved, you have a personal commitment involved, but people today are treating marriages like a contract. Oh, you looked at me like this, I will look at you like this. You beat me this cheek, I will beat you this cheek. You beat me with a frying pan, I will beat you with a cooker. That is how it is. It has become a contract. Is that what we sign in an office or in a building or whatever it is? We say, if you give me this premises, I will pay you rent. If you don't give me this premises, I will not pay you rent. If you don't treat me well, I'm not going to be your wife or husband. Is that how people are treating it? They are not treating it as a covenant. They are treating it as a contract. So there was once a lady and a husband. And they were happily living. But this particular husband was a very miserly guy. He never spends for anything. He keeps storing all the money for himself. This lady has been telling, hey, don't be such a miserly guy. But he has been continuously doing it. But in his last wish, you know what he did? He said, when I die, please open the casket, put me inside, and all my money into it, so that I'll be happy. She said, okay, honey, no problem. She's not a frying pan lady, right? She doesn't hit with a frying pan. So she said, yes, it's okay. Let's do it. His life ended. The casket is open. The body is kept inside. She put something inside, like an envelope, and then closed it. All the friends came running saying, hey, did you really do it? Such an idiotic lady you are. Why would you put all the money? You should have kept everything for yourself. The lady said, I put a check inside, let him go to heaven and encash it. I kept all the money. Is that how marriages are today? I wanted to give you a sharp difference between contract and covenant. Hope you got the picture of what is happening. Right? Now, there are key covenants that are given in Bible. Let's quickly rush through them. These were the ones that we covered in the first week message. There is a covenant given to Adam. It's an Adamic covenant. What was given there? Authority, right? That was unconditional covenant. Noah, protection, unconditional. Abraham, blessing, conditional and unconditional. What is this conditional, unconditional that I keep saying? There are covenants which God would say, irrespective of what is happening from your side, I would do it, right? And there are certain covenants where God would say certain stipulations, saying you would need to do certain things. But even then, his side, let's see what happens. Look at Abraham, blessing. Moses, leading, again conditional. David, grace, conditional and unconditional. Different varieties, lot of covenants in Bible. Very encouraging to see there are covenants in the works. Now let's look at what are the parties involved. Typically in a covenant you will see two people, right? Who are the parties involved in the Bible covenants? On one side it is God. On the other side it is man. Excellent. Let's see each of the sides how they are doing. Right? I've given a lot of examples in one slide, and this slide I couldn't fit. I had 3 more slides like this. In each of these, there is mention of everlasting covenant. In certain places it says, never ever it will happen. And the list goes on. I only fit a few of them here. Look at God's side of the covenant. He seems to be very, very faithful. He is keeping his side of the covenant. All his words are always everlasting. It will never change. I will take care of it. And did he fail? No, not even in one covenant God has failed. He is faithful. Now look at the other side. Who is on the other side? Man's side. Adam sinned. Abraham sinned. Noah sinned. Moses sinned. David sinned. How about you? How about me? Sinned. How is our side? Not so good. God's side, very, very good. So on the covenant, there is an imbalance here. And that is what we saw in the first week, thanks to the messages that our pastor prays and brings to us. The reason I'm covering all this is to conclude into that surety. Right? Okay, we can see a theme here going. Let's understand here. God's love for us keeps going. He is successfully happening it. God's longing for all these covenants. If you see a thread going, what does these covenants say, or what do these covenants mean to us? It's a beautiful love story. It's a beautiful love story that comes in, which is God is again and again and again trying to come and create that relationship, saying, hey, I'm longing for a relationship. Every time he looks for a nice relationship, the human beings fail. Again, he reestablishes a covenant. So that is longing for God, and his love story is a strong love story. Right? Look at man's side, it's a failure story. He is not loving back God. He's not taking relationship seriously. It's a continuous faithful journey from God's side. Once what happened, myself and my wife were working in the same company. And we were married, but we were married like 1 year or so. Our policy is we don't talk in the office. We don't talk to each other in the office. Nobody would even know. That's our policy. You go with your friends, I go with my friends, you eat yourself your lunch, I eat myself my lunch. We don't keep talking there, we don't keep giving masala idlis and all that there. We don't do that, right? Once what happened is, one guy went to another guy in the office and he said, I think something fishy is going on. I suspect, don't take me wrong, I suspect there is something going on between that girl and Pradeep. That guy was like, yeah, something is going on. They've been married for 1 year. Something will be going on. Even in that relationship, will I have this patience? Look at God. Every single time, even husband and wife's relationship, we don't have that level of passion. We don't have that level of, look at this. Throughout history, God keeps trying and longing for a relationship with God, with human beings. Who will do that? Maybe the husband will try 3 times or 4 times, maybe 10 times. The wife may try maybe 15 times. Somebody is not happy with that count. But look at that. He never fails. He continuously keeps loving us. Now, did somebody know this? Moses knew this. Look at that. Deuteronomy 29, 24, 25. Because this people abandoned the covenant of the Lord. He's saying in future, this people will abandon the covenant. He knew about it. Deuteronomy 36. The Lord your God will circumcise your heart. He also knew what God would do. It's not yet happened. Moses is able to say that it is going to happen like this. God will keep his side of the covenant, but men will fail. He's telling that to the Egyptians, to the Israelites. Look at Jeremiah. Jeremiah knew as well. Ezekiel knew as well. Look at Jeremiah 31. The days are coming, I will make a new covenant. I will put my law within them. Who is saying this? God is speaking, and through Jeremiah, and it says, I will write in their hearts my law. Right? It clearly mentioned what's going to happen. All these men of God, they understand what is going to happen. They clearly understand the man's side is flawed and God's side is going to be, he's going to do something great to bring back the relationship. Okay, let's see what happens. Overall, man is not able to, and God steps in. That is the beautiful story. It's a culmination where he will write his law in our hearts. He will bring forgiveness to sin. All the great things. And even look at that. Raise up a faithful Davidic king. If David fails, God doesn't still drop out on his covenant. He would still say, in your line, in your bloodline, in your line, I will have the king come through. He keeps his covenant. Jesus is that negotiator. Jesus is that mediator. He is that guarantor. Let's look at those 2 words. It's mentioned mediator and guarantor. What does it mean? A mediator will be someone, if 2 people are fighting, this person will go in the middle and say, hey, why are you fighting? Don't do it. Please come together. Who did that? Who came on this side and said, hey, I want to reconcile this relationship? It is God. It is God through Jesus, right? Look at who is guaranteeing it. The moment we say guarantor, what comes to your mind? Somebody who comes and signs a surety thing. Have you heard about people? Hey, I signed a surety for this guy, he ran away. Now everybody's beating me up. Have you heard it? That is a guarantor. This person may sign surety, and what happens to the surety person who signs it? If you have not paid the money, they will get beaten up, or they will be charged for everything. That is the role of a guarantor. And you know who is playing that role of a guarantor? Jesus. He is playing the role of a guarantor in the new covenant. That's where Jesus came in, right? Now let's look. What is he offering? Renewed relationship with God and man. He's giving forgiveness. He's giving reconciliation, closer to God than ever before. That is the new covenant that came from Jesus' relationship. He stepped in. And that's the message we had last week, right? Both sides Jesus was able to, God was able to do it. On the God side as well, he is faithful. On the other side, he completely understands that human beings are not able to do it. So let's get our Jesus do it, right? So he balanced both the sides. Great. Now comes the question. Why Jesus? Why not somebody else? Let's answer that question as a group. Why Jesus? Why not somebody else? What is so special about him? Let's understand. That's where we need to understand the blood covenant. So far we talked about covenant. Now let's talk about what is this blood covenant. If you understand blood covenant, then we will understand why Jesus is in the picture. Right? Let's understand that. All right. In the next slide, Abraham, God, covenant, and blood. All right. Abraham, God, covenant, and blood. Genesis 15:9-10. So the Lord said to him, bring me a heifer. Here you see bunch of animals are being brought in, and they need to be cut in two and arranged in a way that you can pass through them. In the older traditions, they would cut the animal, and they will have two pieces, and then both the parties will walk through that. It is a tradition. What does it mean? Why do they do it? It is because to show, if I don't keep up my word, I will also be in the same situation. Just like this animal is cut into two, I may also end up in the same situation. That's the meaning of that particular covenant idea, which is they put these two animals, cut them into two, and both the parties need to go through. And that happened as a blood covenant in Abraham's case, right? Here, when you look at it, in this particular instance, God came through and he walked through the pieces and his side is done. When that incident happened, you know what happened? Abraham was sleeping. He was in deep sleep when this happened. But here comes the significance of blood covenant and God in the picture of Abrahamic covenant. Now let's look at the second one. The next one, Moses. In Moses' world as well, you see the covenant with blood. This is the blood covenant, right? Sprinkled with blood on the tabernacle. Same instance you're seeing. Why do they do this? Why do they involve blood in a covenant? This is to seal the covenant. This is to say seriously that, hey, we are taking this seriously. Both parties are coming together and doing it. That's the reason for doing this blood covenant. Now let's move on. We understood that blood is involved in these covenants to seal the deal. Let's look at love versus law. In the law, it says, in fact, the law requires that nearly everything be cleansed with blood. And without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness. This is how the Old Testament put it forward, right? That was the law that was in place. But somebody came through with love. He rearranged the whole thing. You know what happened? There is a self-maledictory oath of God. What does that mean? It means if I say, hey, if I don't do this, you can beat me up. If I say that, that is a self-maledictory oath. And who did that? God. God himself does it, saying, if I don't do it myself, look at that. Luke 22, in the same way, after supper, he took the cup, saying, the cup is the new covenant in my blood, which I poured out to you. Did he just stop there in just saying it, or did he do it? He did it. That is our God. A God who doesn't just say, he does it. That's a God who did it. He stepped in and did it. Love. In this law versus love, love won the game. Now comes the next part. Jesus mediates, guarantees for us. Excellent. By his blood on the cruel cross. Great. We understand Jesus did it. There is blood involved. We understand that the covenant is involved. But why his blood? What is so special in his blood? What is going on in his blood? Why can't other people's blood? Why can't animal blood? They've been doing animal blood for a long time, right? Why only Jesus' blood? Let's understand. Jesus' blood is special. Jesus is fully man and fully God. His blood is pure. His blood is pure. No sinful contamination. Let's take an example. Is Pradeep's blood pure? Is there sin? Is any of us blood pure here? All human beings' blood has the sin from where? From Adam. That original sin came through, right? But Jesus was not through a human being, right? He was not conceived through a human being. His birth is supernatural. His blood is pure. Now we know the connection between why he is born in a certain way, why his blood, why he need to step in and do this, why his blood is special. Because you need a special blood to be shed on the covenant in order to save everybody in this world, everybody's sin, right? And that's the beauty of it. He mediates and guarantees. And that's why that pure blood's surety matters. It's not anybody's blood. It's not a dove's blood, or it's not a cow or anything. It is the most purest person in this world who could be. And that blood was shed. That is why it is special. That is why it gives you surety. Okay, great. It gives me surety. Excellent. What is surety? Surety is, what does it mean? What is the surety? Why is it important? Let's talk about it. We know that it is permanent. What does it give to me on a daily basis? Pradeep, we are talking about covenant. Awesome. You talked about blood covenant. I understand. You said it is from a pure blood, which is Jesus' blood which is shed. I understand. Very good. Right? And it is all great. It gives me surety. Amazing. Tomorrow morning I have to go to office. How does it apply? I'm immediately after this message, I'll get into the car and my wife will start quarreling. How do I handle with it? How this message is going to help me? Surety of the blood covenant. Great. But how does that help me? I have to face people. I have to live my life. I have responsibilities. How do I apply this? What does it give me? Okay, let's understand what does it give. Number one, it gives you an opportunity to live pure life. It gives you an opportunity to lead a righteous life. Let's look at this verse. 2 Corinthians. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become righteous of God. Righteousness of God. This is righteousness of God available to us because of that pure blood covenant made. Because of that new covenant. When you read the Bible, you have an Old Testament and a New Testament. And the New Testament is nothing but new covenant. Right? In that new covenant, something happened. And this beautiful Jesus gave his life and made it a surety for you and me. What does it help? It helps us lead a righteous life. Righteousness of Lord is available to us. If any of us are praying on a daily basis saying, there are a lot of impurities in my life. There is a lot of addictions in my life. I'm struggling with pornography. I'm struggling with many things which are not right. Here is a chance for us. That blood which was shed on the cross by our loving God gives you that opportunity to have a righteous life. You have the power to do that. Claim that blood. Claim that blood covenant. You have the power to. When do we remember this? Every month? Every month we remember this. Every month we remember this and say, by this blood's power, I want to cleanse myself and I want to live a pure life. When do we do that? Every month, first week, we have communion. Right? Look at the Hebrews 9:14. How much more then will the blood of Christ through the eternal Spirit offer a sacrifice for sin, cleanse our consciousness? Look at the last one. His blood provides the foundation for us to live a life pleasing to God. Is that not a pure life? Is that not we want? Is that not we are called for? My friend, if you are looking for that surety that is given by the blood covenant, claim that today. It will help you live a pure and righteous life. Let's look at what does it provide next. It helps you endure problems. Who is without problems here? Maybe Partha. Every single person is with problems. We face challenges all the time. Don't we need this blood covenant which was shed on the cross to stand with us to fight the problem? Let's look at the words. Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And how did this happen? Because of that lovely Savior who died for you and me on the cross with his precious blood. He paid for it. You claim that, and you will be able to endure every problem possible. Don't be worried about any problem that you are going to face immediately getting into the car or at home, that horrible chapati. Don't worry. Any problem you can endure, including that horrible boss, or including the trouble that you are in, the financial trouble you may be in, the teenager who is not working with you at your home. Don't worry. You can endure any problem with this blood which was shed through that covenant. Great, let's go next. What else is there? It's not showing up properly, it is assured. It gives you the assurance. Not only now, for future. And not only for future, for eternity, you have assurance. You and me, we have assurance because of that blood covenant. We not only have a home in our world here, we have super address at heaven. That's what Billy Graham said, right? If I die, don't be looking for me here. I just temporarily change my address, permanently change my address to heaven. Didn't that not make sense to us? That assurance, if each of us have, how beautiful our life will be. Would we be worried about anything? We will have that assurance. We have that assurance. Look at it. Romans 8:1. Therefore, there is now no condemnation. There is no condemnation. Even in this world or next, there is no one who can come and tell you, you're condemned. Oh, the devil is doing that in God's court daily? Don't worry. There is our intercessor sitting right there and saying, that's my child. Nobody can touch my child. That assurance you have. Have that confidence. Claim that covenant. You will have that assurance forever and ever. Okay, let's move forward. Cure. You get cure. What is this cure? Are we fighting with sicknesses? Right now there's a guy with nice looking sling here. Right? Sicknesses, diseases. Are any hurts? We need curing from our hurts. In a family gathering, you would find some uncle. Oh, this happened once. My dad, he was like 70 years old. And one uncle came, very, very old uncle. He came and said, oh, you're the one who took that bun and ran away, right? When? When he was a child. He would have seen some movies or something like that. Oh, you're the one who cut classes and went to movies, right? When? It was long, long ago when he was a child. People remember those and hurt you. Even if you're 70 years old, even if you're 80 years old, you will still have someone who come in and hurt you. Don't worry. There is a God who can cure your hurt. There is a God who can cure your diseases. Even this broken hand. Praise God. Look at the verse. Isaiah 53:5. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. He took it away. We don't have to suffer for it. But you need to claim. You need to claim and have a righteous life with him. Matthew 8:7. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. All that is done on that cross when he was nailed and that blood was shed. All the iniquity is gone. Gone. It's not going to stop you today unless you let it. Hold on to that promise. Hold on to that covenant. It is there for you to win. Hurts, don't worry. Diseases, don't worry. Disappointments, don't worry. There is a blood that was shed for you. Let's go next. Exposure, it gives you exposure. Oh, don't we need new projects? Everybody is talking about AI. Even for eating patanis, we will have AI, it seems. Right? I think in future, somebody, if cry, there will be an AI program that says, this is how you have to cry. Don't we all need new assignments? Don't we need new interesting projects? Don't we need new wisdom? Don't we need a beautiful future? Don't we want to try something new? Maybe our children are getting into schools or colleges. Maybe in our offices, things are changing. They're talking about some new technologies. You may be hearing about some new way of things happening. Don't we need God's guidance in handling those new things coming? Or God will give you that exposure. You have to just claim that new covenant that was made just for you. Look at that. Therefore, if any man in Christ, he is new creature. All things are passed away. Everything is new. And if you are connected to that particular tree as a branch, you will be fruitful. Are you looking for fruitfulness in your office? Oh, don't worry. Are you looking for fruitfulness in your project or in your studies? Wherever you are, you want fruitfulness. On the cross, it's all paid off. It's all done. You have to just claim the promise. You have to claim that covenant. Let's sum it up. There is surety in the blood covenant through the Jesus, our Jesus, who shed his blood on the cross. It gives you, it helps you to live a pure life. It helps you endure problems. It helps you assure our future and eternity. It helps you cure any hurts and diseases and disappointments. And it helps you provide exposure to any new opportunities. Don't worry about that new opportunity. Don't be afraid to face that new thing coming. There is a God who has already done that and ready for you. Together, all that it gives you what? P-E-A-C-E. It gives you peace. You can have a very nice, peaceful sleep. Just like with a broken hand, I'm going to have a very peaceful sleep tonight. I want you to have a very, very peaceful life. If you claim that beautiful covenant, there is surety in that blood covenant. Okay, we have that peace. Why can't we share it? There are a lot of people without peace. There are a lot of people who are living like there is no tomorrow. You know, there is a slogan that says, live like there is no tomorrow. Oh, that's a dangerous thing. Let's do that. I now give it to her.